What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Getting Technical, joined by Raleigh and Sam. How we doing, fellas?
It feels good to be back, to be honest. It's been like I think the last time we recorded was like March 21st.
Really?
Yeah, so it's almost been a month.
Yeah, probably. I've been out of it for the past week, man.
Yeah.
What did you have?
Really sick. So I came up positive. I had to go. I went
Positive
to the hospital.
for what?
Adenovirus. It's basically like a group of viruses. It gives you symptoms of the common cold, bronchitis, and pneumonia. I had a temperature of like 104.
Damn.
I had a rash on my fucking arms and shit. I went to the hospital. I was dying, bro. And then
Damn.
I was out from Monday to I went back to work yesterday. So Monday to Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
It sucks. I was sick like the past 2 weeks. I had like a cold, and then next week I think I had bronchitis.
Yeah.
I think shit's just going around right now.
Oh no, I've been good. Y'all gotta get. I gotta get y'all right with the Suja. Suja's been sending me the boxes.
I saw that. Yeah.
With, like the juice of the cleansing
You've been
juices.
taking them every day.
Yeah, bro. They sent us 2 boxes in 2 weeks. We had like fucking 50 drinks.
I saw Gary put that shit on his story.
Yeah, because Gary came with us the other day. I gave him one.
I saw.
But yeah, no, let's jump into it. So obviously playoffs right around the corner, playing games going on. What game you want to talk about first?
I don't know. What do you guys think was the most entertaining?
I think we
Probably
should-
the Lakers, right?
I was gonna say Lakers.
I saw
Yeah.
that one, yeah.
Yeah. Bro, the funniest part about that game wasn't even like it's just like the fact that like it's just classic Timberwolves. Like Karl Anthony Towns was having probably I would say it's probably his best playoff game, cuz last year he was a little sketchy in the playoffs. Bro, he was playing great basketball. He was playing aggressive, he was getting buckets. And then down the stretch, it's just like same old shit with him. Like he gets into foul trouble. He's making these stupid fouls that it doesn't even make sense why he's even attempting to do what he's doing in the moment. And then, I mean, they just completely choked. They got a great.
Ant really fucked them.
Yeah, they got a great game from Mike Conley.
6 points.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards, he just couldn't put together. But
Yeah.
And what was the whole thing with Gobert?
bro, him and Jared Vanderbilt's on Lakers. Jaden McDaniels, bro. Rudy Gobert and Kyle Anderson got into some shit. And then Rudy Gobert, during the last game of the season, which they needed to win, which they ended up winning anyway, he, like, punched him in the shoulder, like, and they were, like, it was, like, heated. Like,
Yeah.
Kyle Anderson was like, yo, what the fuck? And apparently he was, like, talking shit in the locker room. And then Jaden McDaniels, like, had a foul or something. He, like, punched some shit and fractured his hand. He's their best defensive player. So in the last game of the season, they lost Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels to punches.
Jeez. Yeah, because Gobert said what? He's like, I'm not traveling. Something like that. Didn't he say
I think
that?
they suspended him.
Oh, they suspended him?
Bro,
I thought he came out and said, like, I'm not traveling to the game or something like that. I saw something like that.
I don't know. But the Rudy Gobert trade looks like it's going to set back the Timberwolves for like 5 years.
Maybe more than that.
They
You
gave
don't
up.
think they just get rid of him?
Who's taking him for that money? Like, he signed a ridiculous. Like, didn't he sign
Yeah.
like a $250 million contract?
Probably. Yeah.
Something stupid.
Yeah.
You can't trust him in the playoffs. He's
Not good
Gotten-
enough in the regular season.
yeah. He's got no offensive game. He's a great shot blocker. He's a great rebounder. But like the league's kind of gone away from that unless you're one of the dominant bigs like Jokic.
But you
or
don't need
Embiid.
one like that to be a shot blocker. I mean, we see it with Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
then
they
it's like
paid
on
somebody
top of it,
$200
Walker
million
Kessler,
to
who
do
was
it.
part of the
Right.
trade that they sent. Like Walker Kessler is like arguably you can make an argument that you'd rather have Walker Kessler on your team than Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
And he's
100%.
probably making $1.5 million a year,
Yep.
something
Yep.
like that, or I don't know, $5 million.
He's
But
a rookie,
compared
small
to
rookie
what
deal.
Rudy's making, and then on top of that, they got 5 picks,
Wow.
and then they got who else did they give away?
And who
they
did that?
traded-
Danny Ainge?
He fleeced, yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
He always fucking finds a
good,
way,
man.
bro, to finesse. Yeah.
Like, bro, it's actually but even at the time, like, the trade just didn't make sense. Like, Rudy Gobert is cool, but it's like at the same time, he's been exposed in the playoffs for what he is. Like, it's happened to the Jazz every single year.
Yeah, I don't know why they continue. Like, bro, I've said it multiple times. Big men do not have that much of an impact in the playoffs. Like
No.
if your big man is a star, like I'm looking forward to see if Embiid can will them to victory, and get to at least an Eastern Conference Finals. But for the most part, I think Jokic gets bounced in the second round. I think Philly gets bounced in the second round. I don't see it. Who was the last big that actually won it? It was Tim Duncan, and he had the system.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And then if you count Dirk, but like Dirk's really not
Yeah,
your
Dirk and
traditional
Giannis are, like, those
big.
power
I mean, none of
forwards,
these
but
guys
yeah,
are
guard-like
traditional, but
players.
yeah.
KG, but I mean, he
Paul Pierce,
had a
Ray
sick
Allen,
team.
Rondo. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like you're looking at okay,
Like
Embiid
role
is the
players.
one, Harden's the two, Jokic is the one, Jamal Murray's the two. Like the lead
Yeah,
guy,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
It doesn't work in the playoffs. The fouls are called less. It's way more physical. Teams really play help defense, team defense. And like Jokic might stuff the fucking stat sheet, but I can't see him winning a playoff series if he plays Golden State, if he plays Phoenix, if he plays LA.
Yeah.
I don't see him winning.
Golden State getting Andrew Wiggins back is going to help him a lot.
Yeah, just in time. I think they go to the finals again.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the West is going to be interesting. I mean, between the Warriors, the Lakers,
Suns.
the Suns, I really think the Kings are going to make some noise.
Who do they play first round?
They play the
Clip-
Warriors first
yeah,
round.
Yeah, the Warriors.
I think they get swept.
And then Clippers.
Really?
Suns. Nah,
4-0,
they're not gonna
4-1.
get swept.
Swept.
4-0 or
gentlemen.
4-1.
Because they have home court, I think it'll be a good series
They're gonna
because
lose
of how
2 at
bad
They're gonna lose the first.
how
2
bad
at home.
Golden State is at
You think,
on
you think
the
the
road.
Clippers get swept?
Who they play?
Phoenix.
No.
And they don't have
It's
PG.
Paul George. He's out for what? 2 games.
If he's back, I think he comes back in the second round, which is just.
oh, then
it just
yeah, they don't
sucks.
have a chance. They don't have a
That's
chance.
what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So you think they get
Also,
swept?
I still think the
4-0, 4-1. Yeah.
the Suns are like.
I don't think the first round of the playoffs is going to be very good. I think the Memphis,
I think it could be
LA
pretty
is
fun
gonna
this
be
year.
good.
Actually, I think Knicks Cavs is going to
Yeah,
be
Knicks
good.
No,
Cavs
I'm talking about the West. At least the
okay,
West.
okay,
yeah,
okay.
the West.
I actually think the Knicks Cavs is like kind of like one of the only exciting ones in the East. I think I'm excited to watch Golden State versus Sacramento. Like even if
Yeah, I think
even
that's
if
the
Golden
best
State
matchup.
wins in 4 or 5, I think every game is going to be fun and competitive. I think their lack of experience is going to hold them back, but I think because of like how good they are offensively, their home crowd, I think they're going to be in the games. I think they might just fold late and kind of just because they don't have that experience, whereas Golden State does. Like Steph and Clay have been there.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish that Paul George was healthy because I think that series
That'd
would
have
be
been a dope.
awesome.
Yeah, that would have been a great series too.
I'm excited to see the Lakers and the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I
also.
think that'll be a tough series too. It'll
Yeah.
probably get real chippy.
Yeah, it's crazy how much stuff, how many like crazy talent is going to be going into the, crypto.com arena, because you got the Lakers and the Grizzlies, so you got Ja, LeBron, AD, I guess if you want to like Jaren Jackson stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then the Clippers and the Suns, bro, you got to have Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook, KD, Chris Paul,
D-Book.
Devin Booker, like
Aiden, Paul George.
yeah, Ayton, like all those guys are gonna be like going every other night. They're gonna be playing in the Staples Center. I hate that it's the Crypto.com arena.
Yeah, they messed
I
it
just
up
want to call it
anyway.
the Staples Center regardless. But I think the first round could be pretty fun. I think it'll be better than it has been in years past. Because years past, holy shit, it's just been a waste of time.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Knicks Cavs.
Knicks Cavs should be a good series. The Knicks have a legit chance.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah.
The
Legit.
two most meaningless first round matchups are going to be the Bucks and the Celtics series.
Yeah.
Who does the Celtics play? The Hawks?
The Hawks, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be 4-0,
And
4-1.
And the Bucks are playing whoever is the winner of the next playing game.
And who is that?
It was the loser. So it's the
It's the
Who did the
it's
Hawks
the Heat
beat?
and the Bulls.
The Heat and the Bulls,
And then
yeah.
in the West we got OKC and Minnesota.
Mm.
Yeah, I
think
think the Bucks wash either of those teams, and
Yeah.
it's probably just like that's the NBA TV series.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna
Yeah.
be on TNT because nobody wants to watch that shit.
I think it probably I would give the edge to the Heat, and in the West for the final 8th seed, probably OKC, man.
The crazy thing about OKC is that they don't have a big man. Their leading rebounder is Josh Giddey. Like they have like Saric who plays a little bit, but he's not in their. I don't think he's in their closing lineup. They play both of Jalen Williams, Josh Giddey, Shea, and Lou Dort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dort, yep.
They have like no rebounding.
I know.
But
we were just
they're
talking
fucking
about how
finding a
rebounding
way.
doesn't really matter anyways.
The Heat would beg to differ. You saw what Clint Capella did to them. He had like 20 rebounds. He completely
Yeah,
dominated
you
them.
think that's the reason they lost?
Yeah, bro. He got the amount of offensive rebounds he was grabbing. He had 20 rebounds. I don't know, but like, it kind of goes back to what Zach was just saying though. It's like you don't really want these guys who are like these dudes who really need to be involved in the offense. Like all these, like you want a guy like Clint Capella who's just gonna.
Yeah.
He had like 4 points, 20 rebounds. Like go get me rebounds. Like a Mitchell Robinson. Like I just want a guy who's gonna play good defense, rebound the basketball, block shots. I don't really care if you're getting me I don't want to see you in the post like slowing down the game, basically.
Yeah,
I
Steven
mean, unless
Adams,
you're
Brook
Embiid, I
Lopez.
guess.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Embiid and
I
Jokic
guess
are
you're
the only
Embiid
two.
and Jokic, but I just still don't see them winning.
No.
And you could say they're arguably the two best players in the NBA statistically during the regular season. But I think when push comes to shove, playoff time, you're going to see Kevin Durant. You're going to see LeBron James. You're going to see Steph Curry. You're going to see Giannis, Tatum. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see like the elite, the real like elite guys like in crunch time that are shot makers. They're going to be the guys that like prevail. And I don't think Philly gets past. Who would they play in the second round? Philly's what, the 3? They would play
What's their
the
first round matchup? Why am I blanking on this?
3-6 is
they're playing Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yeah. So they should get past Brooklyn quite easily, I would
Yeah.
assume. And then they would play the
4-5 matchup.
the 4-5 matchup, which
The Knicks and
No, I think the Knicks. I'm pretty sure the Knicks would play the Bucks.
the Knicks would play the Bucks.
Yeah, the Knicks would play the Bucks. Or the Knicks or Cavs are gonna play the Bucks in the second round.
Yeah.
So who would they play?
They would play the Celtics, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they play the
The
Celtics.
2-7
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
3-6.
Yeah.
I don't see them beating them.
No, they do kind of match up well with the Celtics, especially if Robert Williams is out. But yeah, no, I don't see them beating the Celtics.
Yeah. And the Celtics don't have really a big. You got Horford, who's a role guy, Grant Williams, role guy, Robert Williams, if he plays, role guy, and then you got your. So I don't know. Should be interesting, but do you think he's gonna win MVP?
Yeah, I think it's already they've had like a spreadsheet going around where I guess like someone's updating it with like all the guys who have votes, which I think that we need to talk about because, holy shit, bro, some of these dudes who have votes, they just come up with I look at their selections for everything and I'm just like they don't even, it doesn't even seem like they have the internet. Like I don't know where they're getting some of these. I don't know where they're getting these ideas and making some of these selections. It's just fucking like it's like mind numbing.
Yeah.
I think that I just don't think that the media can control all this shit for their like. I don't think that the media should have so much power over these like decisions.
No. I think it should be players, coaches, GMs.
I agree. Like it had like these writers, bro. Like they're so biased, half of them. It's like, bro, like a guy from. I'm not saying like the guy from Cleveland, but examples. A guy who writes for Cleveland.com has a vote. No shit, he's gonna lean towards Evan Mobley for the Defensive Player of the Year. He's gonna lead towards Donovan Mitchell, first team All NBA, and it's like that's great, and I think those guys are deserving. But it just gets to the point where it's like these guys are not. They're biased.
Yeah.
And it just kind of ruins everything. And there's so much money implications in these things now that it just doesn't seem to make sense. I think it should be the players. I think it should be the coaches and the GMs, like you said.
Yeah.
And then if they wanted to make things really interesting, I guess you could do like a 5% of it, like fan votes, like kind of like the
Right.
like a small percentage. But I don't know. Like I'm looking at some of these guys, and I know I follow a few of them, so I know like. Some guys really take it so seriously, and they watch like every game. Like during the NBA season, basketball is their life, and like you respect what they choose, like their decisions. But some of these other people, I'm like, bro, like I'm so, like listening to Chris Broussard talk about basketball is like it's the worst thing ever. Like, and he's like one of the main like media guys. It's like, bro, like I'm like, did we watch different sports? Like when I listen to him talk about shit, I don't know.
He's usually a big LeBron guy, right?
I honestly don't really. Nick Wright's the big LeBron
Yeah, Nick
guy.
Wright is a big LeBron, but they're on the same show, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he comes on a lot. They're both Fox guys.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the new the All NBA position list starting next year?
So what? It's just 5 guys.
So
I think that's what it should be.
So normally it's a center, two
Two
forwards,
two
two
guards.
guards, and now it's just straight up positionless.
So the 5 best players.
The 5 best players.
That's what it should be.
I don't know.
I agree and disagree.
I think it screws. It does screw the center, because I think. Because
The current setup or the new setup that's gonna
the
happen.
new setup. I think it would.
I think it actually helps. Because you're
I
gonna
think it
say
helps
either
because, like-
Embiid or Jokic. You have to pick one to decide who. I mean, they're both the top 2 MVP candidates. One of them is not a first team All NBA
Yeah, one of
kind
them's
of
gonna.
player.
Jokic is probably gonna be second
Yeah.
team, but
Yeah.
the other argument is at some point it gets ridiculous if the best 5 players in the league are guards and it doesn't look like a basketball team. Like if like next year, the top 5 players are Steph.
That's what I was saying. Where it's like it
Luka,
shouldn't
like-
be 2 centers. I don't know, because
It-
I guess like
it-
we're just so accustomed to like the way it's been, so like it would look weird. Because like technically, I mean, this year you would say it would be Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, Tatum, and
I think the All NBA too. I'm pretty sure based on everything that's come out so far, the two
Dame?
guards are probably. I think the two first team
Nah.
guards are going to be Donovan Mitchell and Shea, based on the votes that have come
first
out.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Dame and
missed a
Steph
lot
got
of time.
pushed because of they didn't play that many games.
Okay.
So
that's
like
fair.
if they like and also Dame and Luka got penalized because their teams didn't even make the play in.
Right.
So like I think that had to contribute to a lot of it.
I just thought Dame was just like
Yeah.
great. Like, I don't know. I mean, like.
I don't know if he's gonna make it because he got shut down early, he missed the
Yeah.
play.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
And now they have the 65 game minimum coming in,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I like.
I saw that. Yeah,
that
that's
should
good.
definitely be
Yeah, that's
Um,
good. Because that's for what? That's for awards. That's for
Yeah.
All NBA and
All
awards.
NBA and
So like
awards.
yeah, so like but like and then it's like some people don't like it because like for example this year KD I think was the first player ever to be in the 55 40 90 club. So he shot 55% from the field, 40 from 3 and 90 from the free throw line.
But he played what?
He
38
played
games?
47 games.
47.
So at some point it's like you just can't give a guy like that an all NBA spot because he played half the season.
Yeah.
And it's like it sucks and because of how great he was, but at the same time like it's not really fair to give a guy who's played half the season an award over a guy who's been there for 75 games and also been great.
Yeah.
So it's just like that line that you kind of like are walking with these awards. And it just gets confusing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're making the right decision because it's allowing players who normally wouldn't get those spots, like a Donovan Mitchell, probably wouldn't get that spot. They probably would just automatically give it to Steph and Luka or Dame, and they technically didn't deserve it because they didn't play enough games. They didn't play as many games as a player like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who does deserve that spot, and then he gets bumped down to a third team and loses money because of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I saw one thing. I forgot who said it, but they said like the scoring title shouldn't be based off of points per game. It
Total
should be based
points
off
for
of
the
total
season.
points for the season.
That's another one I don't mind.
Yeah, because technically, I guess so say next year. So say you hit the 65 game mark and you're averaging, whatever, 31.5. And then, you have a guy averaging 29.8 that plays 80 out of 82, whatever. I think you just have to put it into perspective. It's like, all right, would he have really scored 30 for 20 more games? Maybe not. Maybe it would have been closer.
Yeah.
But the other guy has, in 20 games, 600 more points than him. So he put he put the ball in the basket 300 more times,
Yeah.
roughly, and 200 more
Right.
times.
And then you're gonna have all the analytics people going back and looking at that player who played the 80 games. They're gonna go back and look at the worst 15 games, take that out of the equation, and then say, oh well, even with his best games, if you take his worst ones out, he still averages whatever this amount. And if you take out his best games, it's averaging this amount. It's just gonna make it
Yeah.
so unnecessarily analytical, where you could just say, look, he played this many games, he scored this many points. We're not even looking at the average. We're going by totals now.
Yeah.
Didn't Trey Young did that. Trey Young, like 2 years ago, he led the NBA in points.
Yeah. He actually led the league in I think total assists this year.
This year,
Like
right?
total. I
yeah.
think the past 2 years he has.
Yeah, I know he led the NBA in points. I think it was the year he averaged like 29. It was like 28 or
Yeah.
29. He led in total points because he played like 77 games, 78 games, something like
Yeah,
that.
didn't he have a 2020 game right before the end of the season?
Yeah.
He might have, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually want to talk about Trey because Kevin O'Connor from The Ringer, I think probably like a day or two before the playing game, he came out with a report that said that the Hawks are pretty much open to trading Trey this summer. And I just wanted to know what you guys thought about that because
It's pretty stupid.
I don't know because like they've kind of they had that one run, right, where they kind of overachieved in the playoffs. They were a 5 seed in
Yeah.
that year. Then the next year they kind of did the same shit. And it's like they've kind of just been with this roster that they have right now, a 500 team every year. It's kind of just what they are. And like as great as Trey can be, as many things that he does on offense where he's just, with his pick and roll ability, how everyone has to respect him with the shot. He shoots like 30% from three. He's one of the worst defenders in the league. And it's like as much as good that he does, he also kind of there's a lot of bad that comes with it as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you maybe just try and go, all right, we have DeJounte, he can be our point guard, and then see what we can get for Trey and see if we can build a team that maybe makes more sense?
I think if you're gonna get rid of one of them, you get rid of DeJounte.
But you just brought him in this past season. You're gonna let
I got
him
Trae
rock
Young.
for 65 games and then kick him to the curb.
I got Trae Young.
That's true. I mean, but
you know,
for them to say that they're thinking about trading Trae Young after they just tried so hard to keep John Collins with him, kind of a slap in the face.
I think the Hawks are just a shit show in general.
I think so too, but I think it makes more sense for them to just keep running it. I mean, they had a good year together. They played well. They played very well in the playing game together. Just let them continue to grow together. I mean, all these they're still all below the age of 28.
Yeah, but you're never gonna win anything with this squad.
No.
DeJounte,
Not
John
gonna win
Collins,
anything.
and Trae Young is not gonna happen. But I'm saying you get rid of DeJounte, you get rid of John Collins, and then you can really you might eat shit for 2 years with Trae, but then you can like really kind of try to build something. There'll be some more free agents on the market. You could get a guy or two in the draft, and then you can really like choose who you want to build with Trae instead of like you really didn't have much to work with when you drafted Trae. Well, you traded Luka for him. What'd you have? John Collins. I don't even know who they had back then. Fucking
They traded Kevin Herter for
Kevin
basically
Herter,
nothing.
you
Who's
know,
turned
like-
into a great player
Yeah.
for the Kings. They
But if
kinda
you're
just-
looking at who you're competing with in the East, bro, you're not gonna win with DeJounte Murray, John Collins.
No.
Ever. For the next, you know what I'm saying? They're all the same age. Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Giannis, they're all in this 25 to 29 range. You're gonna have to play them for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
It's never gonna
And
happen.
the thing is, with the team right now that they have, like, they're a 7 seed, and like that, I don't really see them. I don't see them really jumping Brooklyn. Brooklyn has all these assets now. They've got a bunch of wing guys. If they make a move for a guy like a Dame or someone this summer, like they can make a move to get a star. They have the pieces now to do it. And then it's like the Knicks are like not the world's greatest team, but bro, they're like those guys are like 23, 24. And then once you go up from there, it's like the Cavs. You're not getting better than the Cavs. Sixers, unless Harden leaves and then Embiid, who knows? But then the Celtics and the Bucks, like you aren't touching them either with this squad. So it's like,
Yeah.
and then they just gave up they gave up 3. They traded Herter, and then they gave up 3 picks and whatever else they gave up for DeJounte. I think a swap maybe also.
I just don't think
And they just didn't
work.
go. It didn't work at all.
I don't
like,
think Trae and DeJounte work. I said that before
it's
the
like,
season.
Yeah, 'cause they're 2
Yeah.
ball dominant guards, really.
And DeJounte can't play off the ball, and neither can Trae. Trae's not a catch and
No.
shoot guy. Trae is a. I mean, it's hard to say he's not a shooter, but like he's not like this
He's a
like
shot chucker.
he's not efficient. So now and you got another guy DeJounte who really can't shoot it, and then they're both ball dominant. So it's like my turn, your turn, my turn, your. Bro, I watched them in person when they played the Heat, and it
Yeah.
was just like it looked bad. It was like, all right, this is my turn. I'm gonna bring it up, high ball screen. I'm gonna try to create Trae Young high ball screen. And they were just going back and forth, like playing second fiddle to one another, and it just didn't seem
Yeah.
like it. Like they, and they're both young, so you know they both have their ego. They're both trying to get paid. They're both trying to get their brand deals. So they don't have any veteran leadership there in Atlanta either, to fucking tell you like, hey, like this is Trae's team. DeJounte, play your role, play the back seat. And I
Yeah.
think that's what it would have to be, because I think Trae.
Well, that's
has,
what the coach is for. I mean, who's the coach over there? Is it
Did he
still
get fired?
McMillan?
They fired McMillan. Now they
Yeah,
have
they
Quinn
fired.
Snyder, so he's a much better coach than McMillan. But bro, also with Trae though, it's like it was just a bad look. Like he didn't give Nate McMillan the time of day. Like he didn't respect him at all. And at
Yeah.
some point, I mean, part
But
of
where
it's
does Trae
McMillan's
go
fault,
though?
and part of it's
if he has to
Trae's.
go anywhere, where do you even see him fitting in anywhere?
I don't.
Shot chucking guard that plays no defense.
Well, so like the whole allure of Trae's game is like the gravity that he pulls, because you can't leave him open because he can pull from anywhere. But the reason why his shooting percentages are so low is because he's taking so many difficult shots that it's just like you're not going to make all those shots. He can make them. So
Like, is there a team
Like,
where he
it
could go
would
and
have to
fit
be-
in right now?
yeah, it would have to be a team that has like guys that have to be respected around him.
Like, I could see him going
Philly?
to the Clippers.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
There's too many people. There's too many people there.
Well, no, if there was no
I mean, you're
Russ,
talking about.
No, I'm saying Russ is gone.
yeah.
I'm saying you
Well,
plug in.
because then it
plug
would
him
be
in
like
at one?
you can't. The thing is with Trae, then you can't really. leave him because if you go with him and you leave your man, he's a good enough passer to find Kawhi. He'll find Paul George. So
I still don't think that
it would make sense, kind of.
I mean,
who needs a point guard?
The Lakers?
There's so many. Yeah, the Lakers.
Lakers would work.
I think the Lakers make more sense than the Clippers, just for the fact that
But do they have the assets to get him?
probably not.
Unless they traded AD.
I mean, you give up. No, you don't do that.
No,
but you
but-
give up. I don't know. You give up D'Lo. You give up. Fucking.
I think D'Lo's a free agent this year.
All right, well that's good. And then you give up. I don't know, Schroeder. I don't know. Go back to Atlanta again. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It would be weird. I can't see Trae Young leaving. I say
Beasley, Vanderbilt, and 2 first-round picks.
I don't think they have 2 first-round picks to trade.
If they don't have first-round picks, then the trade's not happening.
Is Jaylen Brown signed or is he a free agent this year?
I think he can.
He could leave, right?
Well, he cannot re-sign with them, or they might not. They might come to an agreement where it's like, yo, you got to trade me. Like, they're not going to pay him, and he's also just wants to leave. I think he's like going to be restricted, or he has 1 more year. It's something he can basically force his way out this summer if he wants to.
What about Trae Young to Brooklyn?
Yeah, that's a team that can make sense.
I like that. Bridges, Cam Johnson. I mean, I don't know, Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
I mean, hey,
He might never play basketball
Yeah,
again.
I know.
I think he just hates basketball.
But they got some pieces over
Yeah,
there.
well, they have the assets now to do that. That would be interesting because Mikal has been,
Yeah,
he's
good.
been out of his mind.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah,
Because I was having this conversation about Jaylen Brown. They were like if he left, like where would he fit? And I said either like Portland or OKC.
the thing is just like, would he want to go there? Because I saw a report also like yesterday, or I don't know where Dame was, but someone was like, Dame was like one of the guys like that he had his eye on was like playing with was Jaylen Brown. So basically, like if Jaylen forced his way out this summer, like the Blazers trading for him.
That they said that's legit. Yeah.
But then I just wonder, like, I guess yeah, I think a team with Dame and Jaylen Brown would be pretty damn good.
Yeah,
If
but
they could figure out the rest of the team.
if Jaylen Brown can accept that he's not a 1.
Well, if he says okay to going to Portland, then that's him accepting that he's not a 1.
But then why would you leave Boston? The only reason
think-
you would leave Boston is to get your own team.
No, I think part
I
of the
agree.
reason is because of like the disrespect they showed him, like when they kept trying to trade him. I think that
And
was
who are
really
they? Who are
it.
they trying to possibly get?
KD stuff. A lot of KD stuff over like
It's
2
like,
years.
bro, come on. I mean, I get that, but it's like, yo,
I'm
it's
pretty
Kevin
sure
Durant.
that's like, yeah, oh yeah.
There's about like 4 guys in the league you don't trade him
Yeah,
for.
that's
other
also
than
that's
that.
also like what 5 months removed from a finals run,
Yeah.
Yeah, basically they made it to the finals. He was their best player in the finals. He was better than Tatum in the
and
finals.
then they
Not
try,
in the playoffs,
and then
but
they were
in
trying
the
to trade him
finals.
for KD.
And then they
immediately.
basically go and like, yeah, let's try and trade him for KD.
Business is business.
Yeah,
bro.
I think it just kind of rubbed him the wrong way, and I'm pretty sure that's like the main reason why he wants to like maybe potentially leave.
Yeah.
Which it makes sense. Yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of movement this summer with players, but
I think Beal finally moves. Think
who
any
wants
team
Beal?
him?
He
Who
got
wants Beal?
fucking paid, right?
Yeah.
Got 250. That's the thing. It's like with some of these guys, like Rudy Gobert, and it's like Bradley Beal. They're good players, and I would love to have them on my team. But it's like, I don't want to pay them $250 million and
You
give up
can't-
all these assets
yeah.
for them. So it's like if I want Bradley Beal, I'm gonna have to give up on the low end 3 firsts and a solid player or 2, and then I gotta pay him $50-60 million a year. Then what's the point? Then my team's gonna suck. Like, you know.
And this is what the NBA did to itself with supermax contracts, and basically you get more
Yeah.
money if you stay with the team that drafted you, and it creates incentive
Yeah.
for
Well, it's kind of what
smaller
the
market
players
teams
did to
continue.
themselves, though.
Yeah, no, I know. It's what happened in the last CBA, and it's about player empowerment, but it's also about allowing small market teams like OKC to keep their talent and continue trying to progress. But
Yeah.
then it ends up like Damian Lillard and Bradley Beal saying, "Oh, I'm gonna be loyal to my team," and then John Wall's gone. They bring in Russell Westbrook. That's a shit show. And then you go to Portland. They trade away C.J. McCollum, and Yusuf Nurkic breaks his leg, and he's not the same. It's just like it's an never-ending cycle for these shitty-ass organizations. And if a player were to leave when they were young before they got that contract, they looked at sideways because they're bandwagoning.
Yeah.
There's no win situation for any level when it comes to the NBA, and that's because of the fans.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a little bit of everything. Because like these guys, like Bradley Beal knew what he was signing up for. Like he signed that contract this summer.
Well, I mean, yeah, he got $250 million.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like that's just kind of like if you're, but it's like if you want that money, like bro, money controls everything. Go get your bag. But at the same time, like you knew what you were signing up for, so like stop complaining. Like you knew that this team was never gonna be that good. You took the money. Good for you. Good for your family. But let's not go now and be like, I just want to win. I want to win so bad. It's like you wanted money more than you wanted to win. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, like, let's just accept that and move on. Like, it's all these guys like Dame. Like, he doesn't, like, Twitter and all these people, like, the comment sections, nobody feels bad for him anymore. When he's talking about winning, they're like, bro, like, you chose what you wanted.
Yeah.
He chose what he wanted, especially after
You
all
made
the
your bed,
complaining
not
he had
lying
with
in
the
it.
All-Star games.
Yeah.
Then he
Like-
finally started making All-Star games. He got his bag, and that's it, dog.
Yeah.
There's nothing else you could do.
And it's like, what did Dame do? It's like he could have went. So he took an extension for $120 million over 2 years. He's gonna get paid $60 million in like 3 or 4 years. Like the next 2 years in a row, he's gonna get like make $120 million.
Like it makes any difference because he could have went to a contender and gotten paid $38 million. Is that much of a difference?
And he's an Adidas guy too, so he has a sneaker deal.
Yeah.
He's had the sneaker deal for what, the last 7 years?
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's not like these contracts are going to make that much of a difference.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he's just so into, because he's like, a small school guy, Weber State.
Yeah.
He's just like, so like that's just who he is. He's kind of reserved personality. He's not big in the media. He's kind of like a small market guy, like just his personality. So I guess
then
he
don't
wanted
bitch
to
and
be he wanted to be like the outlier that like did it, that won in the small market team by himself, didn't really have help, and didn't want to go and be, bro, because you have to think about it also, like a guy like Dame is like, bro, he's elite,
Yeah.
So like him doing that is like to the level of like what KD did. And it's like KD doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I think Dame just really has pride and respect for himself where he's like, I'm not going to go out like that because of how good I am. So that's probably why he didn't do it, because he was just like, fuck it, like I'm good enough. Like if I get the right pieces, like I can make a run.
Yeah.
And he probably just thought, and now it's like, all right, you probably got like of like elite level Dame, what, 2, 3
years max, yeah. Well, he's such a good shooter. It could last for a little bit longer, but
what is he, 30?
he's old. He's
2?
getting up there. He might be older than that.
Yeah, I don't know.
When did he get drafted? 2013?
He's been in the league for a while. I'll look it up.
Yeah, he's a couple years younger than Steph. And what's Steph, 34?
Steph got drafted in 09.
Yeah. Steph is 34, yeah.
Yeah. So Dame's probably 31, 32.
How long did he go to Weber State? All 4
2
years?
years?
2 years?
He's 32.
32, yeah.
But he'll be 33 in July. So.
Okay. So yeah,
he's
I think he has
33 going into his
he has
next
2
season.
or 3 years left. So I mean, hey, if he gets it, if he gets some pieces in Portland, if he gets Jaylen Brown and they get someone, but if not, it's like, yo, just go to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Go to Lakers, get one more with LeBron. They win it. You know what I'm saying?
If Dame was on the Lakers?
Yeah.
If Dame was on the Lakers, that'd be so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
One more thing with the Jaylen Brown stuff, though. I actually saw a report. There's a lot of reports that Harden wants to leave and go back to Houston.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then I saw a report that one of the
Why?
places that Jaylen Brown... I have no fucking clue. There's another report that was tying Jaylen Brown to them as well. So it was like, what if they get Jaylen, sign Harden, and then they have that young core, which I don't know.
Jalen Green and Kevin Porter with James Harden and
And
Jaylen
and
Brown. It's literally 2 poor man's versions of the guys that you're
just
bringing in.
redundant.
That was basically what it would be.
Redundancy.
Not
It was
taking anything away
Well,
from
actually,
Jalen Green.
well, they
and
also
Porter.
have a top pick this year. Maybe if they get Victor, there's a chance they get
Yo, I
Victor.
really don't think he's gonna be good.
No,
No,
Really?
I
think he's gonna
a
be good.
NBA
He just
player.
probably won't stay on the court.
I don't think he's gonna be a good NBA player.
Should we talk about Zion?
Sure.
Yeah, that's so.
Did you see what happened? I watched the video and I was literally like dumbfounded. So basically, it came out like they had the playing game yesterday, which they lost, and it came out he got interviewed and he's basically like, no, like I'm like okay, but like I'm not Zion right now. It's like I'm not my best self on the court. And he was like, so I think I'd be more beneficial to the team if I was like cheering them on the bench than actually being on the court. And I was like watching, I was like, bro, what are you talking about? When he's on the court, and you could tell in the video, he's fat again. He was fat, then he was in great shape. Now he's fat again. But it's just at some points like, bro, like you're a professional athlete, like your teammates like depend on you.
You saw the
and you're
CJ
okay.
McCollum?
What?
No. CJ McCollum came out with a quote. I'll find it.
Bro, but it's like think about it this way. LeBron came back. His foot's not healed. LeBron's playing through an injury at 36 years old. And then we got Zion, who's like 23, who pulled his hamstring in January. I don't think it takes that long to come back from a hamstring.
Initially, it was a 2 to 3 week recovery period.
Bro, he's still not back. His team needs him in a playing game.
Yeah.
He's their best player. He's one of the best young players in the league. He just signed a massive extension. And he's like, I don't want to come back. I'm not Zion yet. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So he said, CJ McCollum, after the Pelicans play-in loss, we've got to be available. We've got to do what we need to do off the court in terms of preparation, in terms of getting treatment, in terms of getting the right sleep, the right hydration, and having the right type of diet.
So I was like
It's like-
directly towards Zion.
It's just crazy because it's like you look at guys like LeBron and Giannis and Chris Paul and all these great players who just put so much into their bodies and like just how can they get better in any aspect of the game and just life basically.
Yeah.
And then you have Zion, who's like one of the most talented players I think I've ever seen, at least from a physical aspect of the game.
Yeah.
And it's like this dude just like he's not doing any. It doesn't appear, at least. I mean, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it doesn't look like he gives a shit.
No. Bro. It just shows like a lot of the like different generation. Like just look at the guys like
Kobe and shit like that, and then you see
and then you see like the John Morant stuff,
Like, bro,
Zion. You know, just like just stupid silly shit, bro.
Yep.
And it's just a testament to like the difference in generations. Like, yo, they grew up like we're older than them. You know what I'm saying? Like they grew up like only knowing iPhones, only fucking, you know, social media, Instagram era. Like I think we'll look back in 20 years, not just NBA guys, but just people in general, bro. Like the humans, like the brain is not developing the same way that it did because of the dopamine addiction to people's phones and social media and Instagram and everything. So it's just like a guy like Zion, like it's like play. You know, it's like bro, like you're in the NBA, it's a playoff game. Like if you loved basketball, like you would play.
This is what you've practiced your whole life for.
And like what happens? Worst case scenario.
He sucks.
You pull your hamstring.
You pull your hamstring again?
And you have the entire offseason to recover.
I mean, I guess you could tear it.
I don't
right?
think it's his hamstring. I think that he's just like not in good shape.
Yeah,
I think he's not confident in his game right now.
Right.
And I think that mental part of it is a hurdle he can't get over. But at the same time, it's like, bro, like you pulled your hamstring, yeah, but it's like you could still eat right. You could still work out. You could still practice playing basketball. You could still shoot jump shots. You could work on your free throws. There are ways to work out without using your hamstring. And it's just like, bro, what? Like,
because and that's the thing with like the pros where you're not forced to do anything. Like in college, like if you're at Duke and you pull your hamstring, like bro, you're in the trainer's room every single day. You are getting treatment. You are doing PT. You're doing recovery. You're on a meal plan. Bro, you're in the NBA. You're a grown man. You can do whatever you want. So nobody's forcing you to go to PT. You think if he doesn't if the Pelicans have practice and he's supposed to be getting treatment and he's not there, you think they're calling him Zion? You can't do that in the NBA. They don't treat you like that.
Well,
That's
they
why
should be fucking finding him is what they should be doing.
Well, I mean they could, but I mean like did you guys watch Last Chance U?
no.
Ronald Ollie, he's a guy. He played JUCO there at East Mississippi. Went to Nicholls State. And then he got a shot with the Raiders when they were on Hard Knocks with Gruden.
Right.
And in Last Chance U, they would always have to beg him, like, "Yo, Raleigh, go get treatment. You're hurt. What are you doing on the sideline? Go to the trainer." You know, like they would have to baby him. He went to Raiders practice. He got hurt. He didn't go get treatment. Gruden said, "Where's Ollie?" Oh, he didn't show up today. They texted him. Raleigh said, "Nobody told me I had to go to the trainer." Gruden said, "Okay, cleaned out his fucking locker on fucking Hard Knocks. Raleigh came back. They put someone else's shit in. You go home. Because he didn't get treatment in preseason. But that's the difference with these young dudes, bro. They don't understand, like, the discipline that it takes. And, like, I mean, who the fuck am I telling Zion what to do? But it's like, hey, like, bro, you can be an all-time great.
Really?
You could be an all-time great if you just take care of your body for 10 years. Then go be a fat slob after that. But, like, you know, like...
And it just doesn't make any sense to me, though. I mean, they should want to play.
And he says he does. Like, he said he does, but it's you just, like, at some point, actions just speak louder than words.
Yeah, I just feel like when you get that when you get that money, bro, I mean, it could essentially change you. Like, there's some guys that play basketball because they really love it, and then there's some guys that are just like trying to get that financial freedom, which, I mean, you can't knock them for it. But
I think, like, someone like LeBron, and a Chris Paul, like, I genuinely think, like, those dudes would play basketball for free at this point. Like, I think there's no reason for LeBron to still be like. He said he still wants to play a few more years.
Because I think, bro, they grew up so differently.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. LeBron was, like, the chosen one, right? But, like, he still grew up, like, had, like, super tough upbringing. Like, Chris Paul, like, bro, these dudes had to really – Chris Paul, like, was a Wake Forest guy, you know? Like, these dudes really had to get – like, bro, Zion's been, like, social media, like, since his sophomore year of high school. He's been the fucking –
He's been the man.
Yeah, like, you
That's
know.
what the AAU culture brought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it, yeah.
It's just crazy to see.
And there's a lot of good that can come out of the AAU. But just ultimately, these players, it brings them to a point where they're like, oh, I'm already a superstar. I'm already this. I'm already that. I don't have to do what I really should be doing. I'm good enough.
Yeah.
And that's the word enough is what really brings them down.
Yeah.
But it's like it's showing up a lot in these young guys too, because another guy who I think a lot of people are gonna have not to the Zion level because it's not really injury based. But a guy like Luka and Kyrie on the same team, they couldn't even make the fucking play-in, which is insane.
Yeah,
but the thing is with Luka is, like, he doesn't really seem to try on defense. He looks overweight also, and it's like he's so fucking talented that it really doesn't matter. Like, he can still put up 33, 10, and 8. But at the same time, it gets a little weird. It's like bro, like, why are you, like, in such bad shape? He's another guy who could just be such a generational talent. And it's like, bro, like, if you're a generational talent, though, like, you're not really supposed to be missing the play-in in your prime years. It's just weird. And it's like, I've been listening to podcasts, and I've heard people talking about, like Bill Simmons was talking. He was like, he was, like, at some like, event, and he met one of the guys from Dude Perfect who lives in Dallas. And the guy, like, he knows hoops. Like, he was talking to me about it. And he, like, legitimately with a straight face, he's like, should we trade Luka? And Bill Simmons is, like, a big Luka guy. He's like, I can't believe that, like, we've gotten to a point where people are, like, fucking asking that question.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's like, bro, like, would we just be better off getting a Godfather offer and rebuilding the team? Because, like, they're kind of fucked. Like, they didn't sign Jalen. They traded a first for Kyrie. So now it's like they're kind of stuck with that duo that couldn't even make the play-in. It's like, what do we do from there?
Yeah. I think it was Colin Cowherd talking about how he was like, yo, Luka is like a modern Carmelo Anthony. He was like, in a sense, he was like, they're stuck in their ways. They don't play a lick of defense. He was like, all Luka has to do is become a better physical shape, stuff like that. He won't do it. He was like, Carmelo was just stubborn. He could have been a better three-point shooter, but he was just so stuck. This is my game.
Yeah.
Luka just, high pick and roll all game. This is me. This is my show. And then play no defense. And then he was just like, it gets to a point. He goes, Carmelo was the same way. Like year 3 and 4, they had pretty good success. Went to the playoffs, had a run here and there, but never really made anything out of it. And then he's like, for the rest of Carmelo's career, he just had that stigma of like not a great teammate, doesn't play defense, plays how he wants to, not very coachable. And it kind of seems there could be
It seems to be a trend.
Yeah,
Of these younger guys, like, and it's just like they're so talented, so it's just so frustrating to watch. But even like I was listening to ESPN, I think they asked Perk. They're like, would you trade Zion? He's like, yeah. He was like, why would I not trade Zion? His value is just going down every single year.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, like, if you had asked me, like, 2 years ago as a Knicks fan, like, would you want the Knicks to trade for Zion? I'd be like, you fucking yes. Now I'm like, no. Like, I know that if he came to the Knicks, he wouldn't play for shit. He would just never play. And I know that he put together a stretch. They'd have a decent team, probably win 50, 55 games, be like a 2 or 3 seed. We'd get all excited. And then he'd probably, like, tweak something, like, in the playoffs, and he'd just be like, I can't play. And it's like, it's just, like, it's really fucking the Pelicans, because with him this year, they were one of the better teams in the West.
Yeah, with
And
that
now
three,
they missed the playoffs. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. We got a little bit of football, right?
Yeah, I mean,
little bit of football.
Saquon came out and said that he does want to play under the tag. He said he's threatening to sit out if he doesn't get a deal, and Giants got to think about that. If they want to give him a deal, they got to try and sign Dexter Lawrence also. And I mean, on the Jets side, obviously Odell kind of spurned them and took the money and went to go play with Baltimore. So I guess that means Lamar's going back.
Right. Yeah, I don't think Odell would have went without knowing on the inside where it looked like.
Right, and immediately after the news broke, he was on FaceTime with Lamar.
Yeah.
So he's got to know. So, and Jets immediately pivot to Hopkins, and then Ian Rappaport comes out and says that there's no traction there, that it's like a non-story kind of thing, and then Greeny comes out and says the complete opposite, that the Jets have been in direct contact.
Yeah, I think we gotta just wait until the they said the next like deadline for the Jets with like at least with Rodgers
Is the draft. I agree.
And they said that's when like some moves should be made. That's when some pressure should be applied. But yeah, if the Giants let Saquon walk, that would be crazy.
It doesn't make sense, because didn't they offer him $13 million a year, and during the season he turned it down? Pretty sure they gave him a pretty lucrative offer.
Because Danny didn't have a deal.
And then they wanted to tag him for 10. But it just goes back. I was listening to, I think Mara's the GM, right?
Yeah.
He was like,
no,
they were like,
Mara's the owner.
Joe
Shane is the GM.
I think it was Mara though that they had quoted, and he was talking about Saquon, and he was basically like, yeah, like we want to get a deal done, but it's like, and then he kind of like at the end of it, he made like a little remark about how like the running back market. And it kind of is like guys like Zeke and like CMC, like they kind of like, not CMC, really just Zeke. They kind of like ruined the running back market, because like these guys, like they have these great runs, and then they just, outside of like Derrick Henry, like a lot of them just wear down and they're not worth the money, and then it's kind of like a dead cap hit.
Yeah. Fournette, Aaron Jones.
Those guys aren't old.
Season.
They're young players. Todd Gurley, bro, best running back in the league. Then 2 years later, what?
Gone.
He's out.
Where Zeke went to Philly, right?
Did he? I think he's still free agent.
Yeah, I was
is
gonna
he?
say.
I think
I thought they were talking about him going to Philly.
That he's frustrated because he hasn't like basically.
Or you could go to they were talking about maybe the Jets too, right?
He came out and said he was interested in Philly, the Jets, and another team. Philly immediately came out and said they weren't interested.
Okay.
The Jets did due diligence, and they said that they were going to go in a different direction. That's when they pivoted and started talking to Odell, and that news came out. I forgot who the third team was, but obviously that didn't pick up any traction.
Did the Jets sign Richie James?
No, Richie
the
James.
Chiefs were trying to go.
Yeah, I think he went to the Chiefs.
Wait, why aren't the Giants bringing him back?
Because he sucks.
He was good for
them.
them.
Because there was nobody else on the team.
Bro, we got.
What do they have now?
You got Hodgins back, right? You got Slayton. You got Shepard. You're gonna draft either Addison or Smith from Ohio State. You got Darren Waller.
Yeah.
So now you got 5 weapons. There's no room in that receiving room for Richie James.
Richie James might be better than Darius Slayton at this point. I was a big Darius Slayton fan, but he kind of fell off.
Yeah, he's not great, but
he had potential.
I don't know. I just can't let Richie James slide after that Seattle game.
Yeah.
Two punt fumbles is crazy.
Yeah,
Shit, I forgot about that. I was
Yeah,
only
that
thinking of
was bad.
receiver Richie James. I forgot that he returned punts too.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Do you guys want to, before we wrap this shit up, do you want our playoff picks for the first round?
Yeah,
Yeah.
your picks, yeah.
All right, word. So our playoff picks for round 1. Let's start in the East. So I'm assuming we're all going to take the Bucks, whoever they play, whether it's the Raptors or the Bulls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Knicks, Cavs.
Cavs, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Cavs in 7.
I have to go with the Knicks because they're my team, but I think it's going to be a good series. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be close. I think it's going to go 6 or 7 games. I
Yeah.
hope it goes 6
Yeah.
or 7 games. But I got to go with my team. 76ers, Nets.
Sixers.
And then Boston Hawks. Boston.
Boston.
I think it gets a little more interesting in the West. So let's start off with the Lakers and the Grizzlies.
Lakers.
I'm going to go Grizzlies in like 7. Kings, Warriors.
Yeah, Warriors just based off of experience.
I'm going to go with the Kings. I'm going to take the underdogs. Suns, Clippers.
Suns.
And then Nuggets, either OKC or Minnesota.
Nuggets. So basically all the top seeds except for the Lakers.
And the Warriors.
The Warriors are 6 seed,
And the
yeah.
Warriors, right? I forget that.
I think
Yeah.
it's going to be I think there's a few series that, like, I usually hate the first round, and I don't even honestly watch all the NBA playoffs, but I'm going to watch the Knicks, Cavs, going to watch Suns, Warriors, Lakers, Grizzlies, although it sucks that they're on the West Coast.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
late.
If you're like work in sports media, being on the West Coast is such like a fucking cheat code.
Oh, unbelievable.
I don't know how dudes like Boomer and Gio, like, they start their show at 6 a.m.
Yeah,
if
they
you're
get
gonna
in-
watch
they
a
get in
game-
at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Like, bro, like, if you gotta watch a game, I mean, most of the time they don't have to really talk about West Coast games, but bro, if the Knicks are in LA or something and they have to talk about the next morning, they're going to bed at 1 a.m. and then they gotta get up at probably like, they might not even sleep. They probably gotta get up at 3 or 4 to get to
Yeah.
work at 6.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, they probably just go into the office early, knock out on a couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit sucks. But that's all I got.
No,
You heard what they were talking about on the fan this morning?
I don't listen to the radio that
I was
much.
driving in, dude. They just when there's like nothing for them to talk about in sports, they just talk about the most wild shit that goes on. They were talking about how Boomer was walking into the office. He was like, "Did you guys see that guy out there?" And then Gio starts laughing immediately. Apparently, there was just some homeless dude with no pants on, just fucking one out in the middle of the fucking foyer.
Good for him.
New York, bro.
Dude, I don't
New York.
understand how that shit goes on the air and how they just like casually talk about it. And then I switch over to like ESPN and they're like actually taking callers.
Yeah.
But like Boomer's been there for what, 15 years? He can talk about whatever the fuck he
Because those
wants.
shows are just so like, bro. Like, those shows are way more entertaining. Than
Yeah, it's
anything
more of like a
ESPN has.
personality thing than it is like
Yeah.
a sports, like get
Yeah.
your sports fucking, up to date, news. It's
Especially
more,
when you're on the air for 4 or 5 hours.
yeah.
Is like
It's
how
like
much can
fucking
you
Mike
talk about?
Francesa, like, dude, like he didn't know shit about sports, but
He
it
did,
was
but he
funny as
answered-
fuck, and
but
people
he-
just like fucking with him.
Exactly. He would answer callers though and just like talk to them and just bullshit.
Yeah.
And then like if the Mets or the Yankees were on, he would like talk about what was going on TV.
Even like Bart and Hahn with like the fucking like Nostradamus shit with Bart's voice. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, I hate listening to Bart Scott talk about sports.
Yeah,
he's
he's bad.
Like,
yeah.
I respect his football takes because he played and he was so good. But
yeah.
when he's talking about baseball or basketball, I'm like, bro, shut up.
Yeah.
He doesn't watch.
No, but like, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. If you're on the radio every day, I think you just have to watch. If you're a full time on the radio, on air every day, you at least get
And
some
he's
knowledge of the sport.
And he's on like SNY, like Sports Night and shit.
Yeah.
Him, Doozable, Connor Rogers.
I can't stand that one guy, the bald guy that be there with Greg Jennings.
Carlin,
Yeah.
the
Fox.
white bald guy.
Yeah.
Is it
he-
Chris
Nah,
Carlin?
Chris
No.
Carlin's on ESPN.
No.
Jay Glazer.
No. It's Greg Jennings and the other white dude with like a beard, and then it's like an older white dude, bald dude. They're like 8 a.m. Fox Sports.
8 a.m. Fox Sports, old white bald guy.
Bro, he is the worst.
I don't know.
He's
Yeah, I
the
don't know what you're
worst,
talking
bro.
about.
Like
I
he
stopped
be-
kind of watch. Like, the only time I ever see any of that shit now is if I see the clip on TikTok. Like, I
Me
don't
too.
watch any of those shows anymore because they're just not
I mean,
that
I'll
good.
throw on
It's
FS1
so repetitive.
sometimes, but like, yeah, like he'll be saying shit, and Greg Jennings will just be looking at him like, "Come on, man! Like, what are we doing?" Like Greg Jennings will literally be like, "Yo, what are we doing, man?"
I
Like,
think
it's
some of
bad.
them have to just have their jobs just to kind of be like antagonists.
I was watching
Yeah.
an old clip of this one guy. It was right before the Johnny Manziel draft, and the guy was saying like my evaluation of Johnny is He's a 5th or 6th round pick. He's a developmental guy. He shouldn't be picked in the first 3 rounds. And then Skip immediately comes in. He should be the first overall pick. The fact that he could say so much wrong stuff for, 20 years and still have a top position at a notable
Probably
company.
gets paid millions of dollars a year.
Yeah, he got paid like
but they're good though. Skip and Shannon are good. They're
Yeah.
good
they're,
together. At least.
they're entertaining,
Yeah.
but they
Well,
They
that's the whole
spew
point of it, though. It's
blasphemy.
like,
just straight blasphemy.
Yeah.
And for them to get paid, and
that's what people. It's all about just getting the clicks now. It's like you really just have to say the stupidest shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't like comment but in my head, like if I see a clip, I'm like, bro, you fucking I like it. It bothers me.
yeah,
But like I'm never like someone who goes in comments because that's just fucking insane. But
Kara says she went on our comments. She's like, yo, people are mean.
yeah.
People are fucking mean. I haven't looked at our comments since like the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
stopped.
kind of just gotta. I think Joe Rogan calls it like post and ghost or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I was looking at Spotify's like top podcasts and like their like how many ratings they have, and it was like Bill Simmons like has like 20 or 30,000. Like a lot of the top ones they have like 5,000 like reviews. And I looked at Joe Rogan's, it was like 630,000 ratings, which
Yeah.
is his podcast must be so far in a way the biggest podcast in the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Charlemagne and whatever
Andrew Schultz.
radio show he's on, yeah, but he's
When they were
right up
arguing,
there
yeah.
with him.
Who?
Charlemagne was saying that the Breakfast Club was up there with Rogan, and Andrew Schultz was like, bro, you guys do numbers, but like you're just not. Like he's like, let's pull up the numbers, and then he's like, okay. Then they
Can
pulled
you
up
find the
chart.
numbers anywhere?
Yeah,
Well, they
they
pulled
looked
up
up
the
like
chart, yeah.
YouTube views,
Spotify,
Instagram.
watch time. They watched everything, and
Yeah.
like
Nah,
Joe
They blew
Rogan-
him out of the water in every single number, except for like average watch time, and that's because Joe
Yeah.
Rogan's clips. If you're just watching clips, they're probably 30 to a minute at a time. Where Breakfast Club can have like a 5-minute clip.
yeah,
Yeah, but the weird thing about like the Rogan podcast, like I want to listen to his podcast more, but if I don't know who the person is, like I have a hard time like sitting down and sitting down, but like listening to something that's so long.
Especially because it's 2 hours, like 2-3 hours at a
3
time.
hours, bro. But
Yeah.
when he does have, he had like Andrew Huberman on recently. I listened. That was a good
yeah,
episode.
Huberman's good.
Mhm.
But
Like if I see a clip that I get interested
Then
in,
you'll go.
I'll like then go to that episode and like scrub through it.
yeah, are you guys on are you guys on like the TV/movie TikTok?
What do you mean by that?
Like whenever I'm on TikTok now, I just see like clips of like shows and movies. And
Oh,
it's like part
my
1,
God.
part 60.
Yeah.
But bro, like it
I
makes
see
me
a lot
like
of House.
I see a lot of House. I see a lot of The Good Doctor. I
I see a lot of Family Guy.
I don't see Family Guy, but I've heard a lot of people who are on Family Guy TikTok.
I see a lot of movie ones. Like there was that Netflix.
Shameless is the
movie.
biggest one actually I see. Shameless is crazy.
I don't see a lot of Shameless.
So much,
I don't
bro.
have any of that in mind.
There was that
It's
Netflix
crazy.
movie where like basically like this like corporation, they like board up their entire building and they say like you got to kill two of your employees to
Jesus.
be able to exit. Like one of those weird ass Netflix movies
Yep,
that
yep,
came
yep.
out. Like what was it? The Platform. Remember that one?
Platform was
The
Crazy.
Platform was crazy.
Crazy with the food, and then like,
Wait, what was?
So the platform was like
yeah.
there's like 100 levels or whatever,
Yeah,
and this
that-
platform.
and you're on the level, like it's like a ring, right? So it's like you have like a border, and it's you and one other person. It's you
Yeah.
and one other person.
Yeah, it's a square. So you're basically you're on one side and I'm on the other, and there's a hole in the middle, and you see down all the levels, and depending on what level you are, basically on your wealth, the first level is the richest people, and they basically, or I guess the top level is the richest people, and they get like a sick like thing of food, and they just eat.
It's like a square, like 10x the size of this, and it's just covered with like turkey, chicken, ham, you name it,
Wine,
any food,
everything.
wine, steak, lobster.
And people just eat at the top, and it slowly comes down to each level, and whatever level you're on, you gotta wait, and then you're eating scraps and
Yeah,
shit.
it's your choice. Like if you want to, if the people on the first floor wanted to eat everything, they could and leave nothing for everyone else. So then it goes and goes and goes, and there's 100 levels. So bro, by the time you get into like
You're basically licking
Is this
the
like
plate.
was it like a reality show or like a?
No, it was like a
Bro,
horror
what
film.
is this?
Come on.
No,
This
I'm
is a
just saying like
reality
it was
show.
like a.
It was like a horror. It was like a horror. It was like like they were like
So,
fucking
like,
like
why
trying
do
to
people-
eat each
Why do
other.
people? Why do people
Well,
get
'cause,
stuck
bro,
at
they'd
the
be hung-
top? If you're broke or rich.
The rich people.
The rich people are at the top, and,
And
then
that's
the
where the food
platform
starts?
goes down.
Yeah.
Yes, the platform goes down from there.
Yeah.
Why are they stuck there?
Bro, they would piss down on the
Yeah.
food. Yeah.
As they're eating,
Yeah. Like they were shit. Yeah.
which is
that's-
fucked up
that's,
because
like,
there's a
fucked
toilet
up.
in your room.
Yeah. Yeah. Then they would try to like eat each other because they would be hungry.
Jesus Christ.
You should watch it. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. There's a lot of like weird ones. There was The Room.
Bro, when I was sick like the last 2 weeks, I watched a bunch of like Amazon shows. I watched Reacher, sick show.
Yeah, Reacher's a good
With
show.
the dude Thad Castle,
Yeah.
murder mystery, really fucking good.
Really?
I watched
heard it
Jack
sucked.
Ryan.
I heard it
Oh,
was
Reacher
worse.
was fire.
No, Reacher's good. Murder mystery. I heard the second one was worse than the first.
Oh, I was saying it was like a murder mystery show.
Like the genre.
Yeah. Jack Ryan, pretty solid, and I watched The Boys. Amazon's got good shows.
Yeah, I'm watching on Paramount the one with Sylvester Stallone. Plays like a mobster that gets like sent to Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's called Tulsa King.
Rocky.
Good.
Rocky, yeah. It's Rambo Part 3.
Bro, there's so many. There's so much stuff now. It's like overwhelming.
Yeah, they're coming out with a Harry Potter HBO
That
TV
It's
show.
fire.
That it's probably gonna be sick.
I fucking love Harry
book is
Potter.
a full season. They're like committed to a decade worth of this.
New actors.
New actors and everything. Yeah, they got
Let's
the kid
go.
that played Draco.
Yeah. Oh wait, is that confirmed or was that just like?
I heard
floating
it's a
around?
rumor that he's coming back and he's playing the father now.
I saw that.
in
I don't
for
know
the
who
movie.
Draco is.
You never watch Harry Potter? Bro, you
The
gotta
blonde
watch
one,
Harry
the
Potters.
like the bully.
Dude,
Maybe.
you gotta watch
Dog.
the Harry Potters.
Bro, I've seen them, bro. It was like.
You gotta
I've
rewatch
seen
them.
them. I don't know one of the main characters, but I've seen them.
Bro, I was 7.
I rewatched them like recently.
were we that young?
So good, bro.
Harry
Yeah,
Potter,
bro.
you know,
The
you're
first
like-
Harry Potter movie came out in 02.
Yeah, I was 5.
Yeah, we were fucking young.
All right, yo.
All right.